Would you work in a room with no light, no sound, no distractions, with a timer, caffeine, and nicotine for 30 days? What about 10 years? That's the routine of AlexHormozi, a famous entrepreneur and author famous for his straight-to-the-point style and business advice. He's grown multiple businesses to be worth over $100 million. He doesn't do red light therapy and he doesn't meditate. What's different about his productivity routine? He cuts straight to the chase. So I thought to myself, what if I took on this routine for 30 days? Would it help me reach my goals faster? But productivity can be a hard term to define. So for this experiment, I'll be measuring my productivity based on how many videos I am able to create for both myself and clients alike. Alex also makes it a point to try and improve with every project, so I'll be doing that too. Part 1 of this video will be during the routine. Part 2 is the encore, and part 3 is the results. You can skip to any part you'd like, and my goal is to make every part of this video useful and packed with lessons that you can apply to your life. So will my productivity increase? Will this break me? And what can both you and I alike learn from this experience? Let's find out. Chapter 1 is the routine. Chapter 1 is the routine. So very quickly, I'm going to let Alex go over his routine and then I'll talk after.
This is my actual productivity routine that's cheaper than Starbucks. Number 1, I sleep until I wake up. Number 2, I put in earplugs. Number 3, I put in headphones to really make sure I can't hear anything. Number 4, I put in nicotine. Number 5, I caffeinate. Number 6, I shut out all of the windows so that it's pitch black in the room besides my screen, and I turn off all outside notifications on my phone.
So here before me, I have some of the stuff that I'm going to be using. As for the sleep, I'm going to aim to wake up between 4:30 and 6 a.m. And for the noise cancellation, I'm going to be using this pair of Corsair headphones that has some good noise cancellation. For the caffeine here, I have a little bit of coffee, as you can see here. We got the coffee. And for the nicotine, I'm going to be using something far more addictive, which is the sugar. So there's the sugar. So what am I going to do to block out the distractions on this here phone? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called the Bloom card. That's what this little guy is. So basically with this, as you can see, I can press block now. And then all I do is I use this card and I tap it to the phone. As we can see, if I try and go onto something like Instagram, it says, boom, we've been blocked out. So something Alex also does is that he has a timer. So I went ahead and I found this timer, the closest one that I could find to his on Amazon. And it's actually very aesthetically pleasing. Let me ASMR real quick. That is the utilities, right? It's pretty straightforward. I'm also going to be using what I call the needle board. I have a ton of tasks on there. That is pretty much the biggest needle movers for me personally and my career. So nothing gets done before those do. Then let me move some of this to the side and bring in this calendar. So I have this calendar so I can track things like the hours that I worked and how many videos I made. I have that calendar, I have my needle board, and I have everything I need to lock in. If this icon pops up at all in the video, that means that I believe it's a noteworthy moment and there may be a lesson that you can take with you from that part. And also I have school 3 days a week, so it's going to be interesting trying to stick to this, especially in those different environments. This video has 3 different parts. So the first 30 days, we're going to do a vlog style with the lessons along the way. Then we're going to go into what I call the encore. And then finally, we're going to look at the results. And you can decide whether this is something you want to try out. Ooh, was I more or less productive? We'll see. And as always, you can skip to those parts if you like. The timestamps are down below. Let's go ahead and get it. The AlexHormozi challenge. In total, it's been 9 hours. So I was pretty much working for my professional gig all day. And I don't mind, honestly. Like, I'm honored to be doing that. It's just, as an ambitious person, I have my own stuff that I want to do as well. Finding time for my Bible studies and also being able to do my homework and stuff like that. Sometimes it could feel like, man, you're advancing slowly, but at the end of the day, advancing slowly is better than not at all. for your protein today?
Do this. We need like an app.
Lumens?
I think. She said we need.
It's funny because once you start thinking about everything from a productivity lens, you're like, man, do I even need to eat? You know, it's like, oh, is my return on investment good on eating? Right now, the school is kind of a break from the action. Going ahead and researching and writing papers and doing homework is chill when you compare it to trying to grow social media, trying to, you know, do meetings and all of that to see what's working and what's not for, you know, marketing, social media marketing. What works for me with school, especially when you pair it with all these other responsibilities, is go ahead and get it done right there on the spot so that your schedule frees up. Use the car time to kind of study. I'm gonna study, right? I'm gonna be watching Ryan Trahan videos to see how he does his storytelling so that I can try to improve on mine, because if you want to be like the best, you gotta look at what the top dogs are doing and see how you can improve each day. Yo, my chair just went to the left, bro. I can't, bro. Look at that, dude. Yo. You miss one thing on the to-do list, but sometimes it's either the stuff that you're doing, you do it more correctly, or there's just more that you didn't expect to get done that gets done. So for me, I get to have an unexpected win for the day. Interesting doing it as a faithful man, because I'm doing my prayer, I'm doing my Bible study in the morning, and then just different responsibilities, right? I have a dog and I want to take good care of him, so I'm not just gonna lock myself in a room and not walk him. So I've been walking him, been spending some time with my brother, just went and got this delicious pizza with him, had a good conversation, had a good drive with him. I will say one thing, I've been drinking a lot of coffee to get the caffeine during the work, and I don't know if sometimes I'm feeling sluggish or what, but we're just gonna keep doing it, and if it continues, then we'll see. I might have to stop drinking the caffeine. Anyway, we're straying from the original plan because my back was just breaking in the chair, respectfully. We're gonna work here on the standing desk, which is just a computer with the stand on it. Getting into a rhythm. Is there a rhythm? What does that rhythm look like? You know, because I mean...
I'm for it minus the lights.
Really? Yeah?
The lights is kind of like hermit to me. I've told you that before.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Like audio cancellation, you know, a little timer, like give yourself little breaks and stuff, you know, a little bit of caffeine, a little bit of nicotine. You can see how that dials them in. You know, nicotine's actually good for your testosterone. Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times we stop doing the things that we know that are good for us. Say it was a schedule, a wake-up time, a habit. You know, a lot of the times we gotta whip ourselves like a horse and get that horsey back on the trail, you know? So today was by far one of the slowest days for me getting up. Honestly, I don't feel too guilty about it, because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, a few hours of locked in work will get me further than a whole day of just, you know, willy-nilly. So we're still gonna make the most out of it and get ahead. I specifically bought these headphones for this. Before this, I didn't have any headphones. I will say that, you know, it's much different being in an environment, you know, I'm at school, I got a private room, I can't turn off any of the lights, stuff like that. But we're sticking to the plan as much as possible, eliminating the distractions as much as possible. We got the private suite, and this is what it looks like. Crazy thing just popped up on my desk. There's this guy named Caleb Ralston, I don't know if you know, but basically worked with Gary Vee in the past, worked with Alex and AlexHormozi in the past, stuff like that. He is having a open tryouts to being his video editor. The key to win any game is to not take it so seriously. So not only is it video editing a video, but then putting it into shorts and then making some thumbnails. And God is so good. That's exactly what I've been working on as of recently. So this comes with 3 thumbnails. I think this one is just the sickest. And then also these ones, building the foundation. This is the last thumbnail came up with, inspired by skymography.
1 or 2 games, it wouldn't have had the same effect. We wouldn't associate Nike with basketball greatness. It was the fact that he wore them every night for years upon years. You need to do the same thing with your core message. It's you being Michael Jordan and the Nikes. And so the repetition is not a bad.
The 2 shorts, we have the long form, and I even made them a special message. So check this out, guys. And his name is Caleb Ralston. Trevor Odom.
Slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
So I hope that they like that. I mean, at the very least, hopefully give them a laugh, give them a smile. And it would all have been worth it. God will fling that door open if the opportunity is right. But if not, then there's bigger things and different things that God has planned for me.
It's beginning to look like Thanksgiving. Mashed potatoes and some chicken, some turkey. Please, yeah, hey, I'm so grateful. Hey.
As the 30 days came to a close, I felt accomplished. I set out to make a masterclass, and I had done all of the prep work, all of the free training videos, and all of the free products. So at day 30, I sat peacefully eating my tuna sandwich at school, knowing that the challenge was done. I heard something in the distance, and I investigated. I couldn't believe my eyes. An African tribe in the cultural center. This was my celebration. Off camera, they invited everybody to the dance floor, and we all joined in the tribe and started dancing together. After school was done, I came home and decided I would start editing the AlexHormozi video, the one that you're watching now. But something was looming over me. The biggest project, the editing masterclass, was still not complete and next up on the list. Did I do this challenge just for fun, or did I do it because I really wanted to grow? And the answer is, I wanted to grow. I wanted to learn. So then, it was time for the Encore. Everything was set aside because splitting your attention only makes it take longer to get to where you want to be. The 30 days were over, so this wouldn't be counted in the challenge, but it's about what it stood for. A new stage with focus, priority, and growth. So I grinded out the project until it was done, down to the detail. A 20-page script, setting up backdrops, and 2 days of shooting at 3 different locations. The deadline was December 23rd, and I wasn't gonna let it pass me by this time. 5 days of intense editing led to December 22nd, and it needed to be done. It was another 4 a.m. night, making sure not only the video was done, but also the thumbnail, the Instagram post, and a link to work with me. And at 7 a.m. on the 23rd, boom, it was posted. And this is where the challenge was really won. It's not about 30 days or trying out what's hot in the new best-selling book. It's about real effort over time. So keep stacking those small wins, and before you know it, you will be on top of the great mountain. So now, with all of that off the plate, it's time to go into the results, and they may shock you. I'm gonna go and party because it's New Year's. Let's get it. So ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to go into the results and how this can apply to you. Before we did the challenge, I was averaging 6.5 hours a day on the computer editing or doing creative work. I averaged 25 workouts from September 30th to October 30th. And then for the videos, I was able to make 4 long videos, 16 short videos, and 20 videos in total. Homework was a little bit of a constant. I was able to do 104 assignments, and just so you know, it's not like 104 crazy assignments. The Spanish class that I had at the time was doing these really quick 2-3 minute assignments, so I was able to do 104 for that month. So after the challenge, or during, right, from October 30th to November 30th, I averaged 8.89 hours a day on the computer. For the videos, I was able to make 14 short form videos, 4 long form videos, so that's 18 in total. For my homework and tests, I was able to complete 104. And for the workouts, I was able to do 8 workouts. So what does this mean? Let's take a look at the comparison down here. So when we're looking at the comparison here, which is comparing before the challenge, which was my own routine, versus after the challenge, we have here that I did 36.769% more hours of work. I actually did 68% less workouts. I had the same school output, and our golden metric, which was our videos, I did 11.1% less video. And for me, when looking at these numbers, it reminds me of something that Sharon Savat said. There's no such thing as work-life balance. And think about it. For one thing to be in balance over here, one thing on the other side is out of balance. You have to give something up to get this one back in balance. Balance forces you to choose and sacrifice things, and that's exactly what we're seeing here in this experiment. Deciding to work 36% more resulted in me having 68% less workouts for the month. And granted, that's of course my priorities being out of whack and all of that, so I can't even put that on any of this stuff. And Sharon said that the solution to this work-life balance situation is this: to be present and be where your feet are. If you're out for dinner with your family and you're thinking about what's going on back at the office, that's where we feel that disconnect between the work and the life, and everything starts getting out of whack. But by being present and giving people our full attention, we can feel that connection that we desire from our life balance. So in everything you do, be where your feet are. If you're out with family, give them your full, undivided, passionate attention. And if you're out there working, grinding, hustling, then work with your full, passionate attention. There's things that we're gonna have to give up, and that's okay, because that's just a part of it. That's a fixed cost. But if we are present, we can enjoy those things when we have them. Those were the numbers, and now we're going to get into what the numbers don't exactly show you. The biggest thing that I can take with me from this challenge is to improve and get better with everything that I make. And if I'm being honest, I got very comfortable in my old way of producing content, the short and the long form videos. I wasn't trying to improve every step because I felt like, well, I'm good, that's sufficient. But what we learn when we try and improve every time is that not only can we be good, but we can be world class at whichever lane that we're trying to go in. So when we look here that I had less videos, it makes sense because I wasn't trying to just pump out videos to check a box and say, yes, I did it. I was trying to improve every time, and that naturally takes more time. With that being said, is this gonna be my new routine from now on? I don't think so. But there are going to be some things that I'm going to keep. And I think that that points to the fact that everybody's style is different, and that what works for one person might not work for you. I like to think of building your life like building a collage. We get a little bit of things from here, we get some stuff from that person, and before we know it, we have something that's completely unique because we're pulling from different sources. So yeah, a few of Alex's work ethic and routine ideas will stick with me. Like improving with everything and trying to limit the distractions, just blocking out my phone completely. But am I gonna go in the dark room every time? You know, sometimes I might go out in the sun. So for you, when you're trying to build your life, remember, just pull from different sources, because oftentimes one person's routine isn't gonna be tailored for you. Proverbs 24:6 says, "For by wise guidance you wage war, and in the abundance of counselors there's victory." Listen to the wise people around you. Listen to the people at the top of your industry, and try and pull from people who are really winning. And then before you know it, you'll have your wise counsel and your victory. So to wrap this up, get that wise counsel, because not one routine is gonna work for everybody. Balance is easier said than done. So just be present and enjoy the moment wherever you are, and keep going hard, keep improving with everything that you do. And before you know it, you will be the top of the leaderboard. Have a good night. Have a good day. God bless you guys. Peace out. We'll see you. It was a fun one. Bye.